Hi students, welcome back. We'll be continuing with the chapter Decimals, exercise 4A for class 7. Now the other day, exercise 4A, we had done the first 3 questions. So now you are familiar and you know these terms now, like decimals, unlike decimals. Then you know how to expand your decimals. So now you know what are decimal fractions. You know how to divide the whole number and you know what are the decimal parts also. Isn't it? Then you were given decimals and you were asked to convert into fractions, into a simplest form. Right? Alright, I'm sure you have worked out exercise 4A, the first 3 questions. Now let's go on to question 4. Your question 4 says, convert each of the following fractions into decimals. Now, you have fractions, or let me say you're given fractions and you need to convert it into decimals. As I just said earlier, you know what are decimal fractions, right? So it's very easy to convert them into decimal numbers. You just count the number of zeros and you get your decimal number. For example, the first one, I have 5 upon 10. You can write 5. Count the number of zeros. 1. So my answer is 0.5. Similarly, let's do example 2. I have 125 upon 100. Write 125. Count the number of zeros. 1, 2. 1, 2. So my answer is 1.25. Now, let's come to example 3. My sum is 3 upon 5. Now children, I don't have 10, 100 or 1000 in my denominator. So how do you think you're going to do this? You have 2 ways of understanding this. In your rough column, you can divide children. You can take 5 and you can take 3. So 3 becomes your dividend, 5 becomes your divisor. Remember, dividend, it is inside, divisor, outside. Please do not confuse this. Point, and let's put a few zeros. That's up to you. The 5 doesn't go in 3. 5 zeros are 0. I get 3. Point. Let me bring my 0 down. 5 6 down. 30. So, with your division method, you get your answer as 0.6. Now, this is one way of doing it. You needn't necessarily do division all the time. If you know your tables, like for example, let's come here. 5 2s are 10. 50 into 2 is 100. 25 4s are 100. 125 into 8 is 1000. To get a decimal, if you have decimal fraction, to get a decimal number is simple, isn't it? Or easy. Now I know I have 5 in my denominator. So what do I do? If I multiply this with 2, I get 10. So that gives me a decimal fraction. Now if I multiply 2 in my denominator, I also need to multiply 2 in the numerator. So I get 3 2s are 6 upon 10. Now 6 upon 10, you know, gives you 0.6. So it is simpler if you know your tables to convert a fraction into a decimal fraction first, and then you can convert it into a decimal. I give you a choice. You can either do it by division method or you can convert it into a decimal fraction. Please note, learn these tables. It becomes easy for you to convert into decimals. 5 2s are 10. You know it. 15 to 2 is 100. 25 into 4 is 100. And 125 into 8 is 1000. Let's go to the next example. Our fourth example. Now I have 3 upon 25. Now you can tell me, how do I convert this into a decimal fraction? You know 25 into 4 is 100. So let me put 4 here also. So what do I get? 3 4s are 12, 25 4s are 100. So I get it as 0.12. So it's quicker and faster when you have decimal fractions and converting them into a decimal. Now let's go to another example. I have 2 9 upon 16. Let me rewrite it for you. I have 2 9 upon 16. Now this is a mixed fraction. First let's convert it into a improper fraction. 16 into 2 gives me 32. Plus 9 would give me 41 upon 16. Now there is no table which I can multiply into 16 would give me say 10, 100 or 1000. Now here we will have to do a division method. I told you, remember, dividend or your numerator n will go in and your denominator comes outside. So let's do division. 41.0000 divided by 16. In my rough column, let's write the tables just to make things simple. 16 2s are 32. 16 3s are 48. Just in case you have forgotten your tables, this is the right time for you all to revise your tables. Please learn at least till 18. 16 4s are 64. 16 5s are 80. 16 6s are 96. I think till here let's leave it and let's begin. Now 16 goes how many times in 41? 16 2s are 32. Subtract, I get 9. My decimal point, let's bring 0 down. 16 5s are 80. When you subtract, you get 0. Let me bring this down. I have 100. 16 6 are 96. Borrow, get 4 here. Let me bring this 0 down. Now I get 16 2s are 32. Over 1, I get 8. With this, I get my 0. 16 5s are 80. So, I've got my decimal number. My answer is 2.5625. I hope you all have followed, children. With this, I complete exercise 4A. Let's move on to exercise 4B. Alright, let's start with exercise 4B question 1. We need to add 35.67, 18.794, 4.9 and 31.82. Children, you know your additions. All you need to be careful in decimals is put them in a proper order. For example, let's take the first 2 numbers. Convert all of them into like decimals. So I have 35.67 plus 18.794. All I need to do is put a 0 here. So when I add, I get 4, 16, 7 here. So it will be 14. Don't move your decimal point. 14. 3 plus 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So let me take this number on top. 54.464. Now let me take this number. Plus, be careful how you place it. 4, please remember your point doesn't change. 4.9. Let me put 0 at the other places. 4, 6, 13, 4 plus 4, 8, 9 and 5. Now let's write this again. 59.364 plus the last number 31.82. Let's convert it into light decimals. So this will be 0. 4, 8, 11, 9 plus 1 is 10, 10 plus 1, 11, 5 plus 1, 6, 6 plus 3 is 9. So my answer is 91.184. So I'm sure you've understood question 1. Just be careful how you place the decimals and the numbers according to their place values. Let's move on to question 2. Alright, now question 2. Your question says subtract 134.68 from 201.3. Whenever there is from, remember take the number next to it. It's always the second number that you're going to take. So how do we write? 201.3. Let me add a 0 because I have 2 here and I have 1 here. So I've converted it to a like decimal. Minus 134.68. So when I subtract, you borrow 1, 2, borrow 1, 0, borrow 1, turns backward is 9 and 1. Now, so I get 2 here, 6 here, 6 here and 6 here. So my answer is 66.62. I hope I'm clear with this. Let's go on to the next question. Our fourth question. Now, what is the difference? Always remember, whenever you have difference, you need to subtract between 68.5 and 0.685. Children, now, this question 4 and 5, I will explain it to you. You will solve it because it is simple subtraction. Alright, so I just show you how to place them. Now, what is the difference? Difference means, right, you need to subtract. So, it is 68.5 minus 0.685. I told you, let's convert all into like. So then, if we have my zeros here. Now you know how to subtract. You need to borrow and solve it. I am not going to do this now. If you have a doubt, you can come back to me. Next question, the fifth one. What is the excess of 90? That means how much is 90 more than 53.865? Whenever you are comparing, always remember you need to subtract. So remember these terms like difference. Then how much when you're comparing the two things, how much is this more than something, or how much is this number, how much excess it is. All these sums you need to subtract. Here we have 90.123. Another thing, children, always remember your greater number comes on top and the smaller number will come below. It is always the greater number minus the smaller number. So 90 minus 53.865. I'm sure you know how to solve. So I'm not going to do this for you. You will work it out. Let's go to the next slide. Alright, children, question 6 again. So you are familiar with this sentence. What should be subtracted? It has also come in your earlier chapters. So always remember, whenever you get a sentence or a question, framing a sentence like this. What should be subtracted from 50 to get? The word subtract. So you will always take the first number and subtract it with the second number. Now, let's come to the seventh question. Here are what should be added to 63.47. Whenever you get added, you will take the second number and subtract it with the first number. So a hint, always remember, whenever what should be subtracted, you will take the first number and minus it with the second number. And whenever they say what should be added, then what would you do? You will take the second number and minus it with the first number. Please remember this. Whenever you come across questions like this, what should be subtracted? First number minus the second. So here I will do it 50.00 minus 34.57. You know how to subtract, so I'm not going to work it out for you. You will do it. Same way, question 7. What should be added? So what do we do? Yes, we will take the second one. 91.00 minus 63.47. Subtract and work it out and get back to me. Now let's do the last question for the day. That is question 10 simplified. Alright. Now next, question 10 simplified. This is from your sum itself. I've taken question sum 3 from question 10. Now children, you have 1 minus 10.5 plus 12.213. Remember, you have two different signs. Whenever you have 1 minus and say 1 plus, it's always better you put your signs for all the numbers. So I get a plus here. Many of you tend to make this mistake. You will take it as 10.5 plus 12.213. No. Please remember, the sign in front is for that particular number. Like this is plus 1. This is minus 10.5. And this is plus 12.213. I hope I'm clear. So let's begin with the sum. Now I know this is plus and this is plus. So it's easier to add. So let me take it as 12.213. It is plus, if you want you may write plus 1.000. So what do I get? I get 13.213. Let's move it up. 13.213 and then I have minus 10.500. This was plus. So let me put plus if I want. You know plus and minus makes it minus. So let me subtract. 3, 1, you borrow 1, 7 and 2. So my answer is 2.713. You can take the two pluses and do, or you will have to do one sum at a time. You need to take two numbers at a time and do it. Like for example, let's take the same sum and let's do it that way. I had 1, so it will be 1.0. Children, this is 10. So minus, let's rewrite, I'm sorry, minus 10.5 plus 1.0. Remember this, minus 10.5 plus 1.0. Different family, subtract. So I get 5. This gives me 9. Put the sign of the bigger number. So you get minus 9.5. Then let's take the bigger number again. Plus 12.213 minus 9.5. So again, different family, subtract. So I get 3, 1, and I borrow 1. So this is 1 and 0. 2.713. Either way you do it, your answer should come the same. We have forgotten, we need to put the sign of the bigger number. You may or you may not, since it is positive. But just make sure you check your signs. So with this, I finish your example 3. Let's work out another sum, the last sum, question 10. the sum, the fifth sum. Now let's read this simplified. 555, no decimal point, minus 55.5 minus 5.555. Now you know this is a bigger number. If you want, you can always put a plus. Since both are minus, I didn't bother to put it. 555 minus 55.5. So let me put a point here and take that as 0. I'll repeat, 555.0 minus 55.5. We have taken these two numbers. So we get 5.994. 499.5. Let me take this up. And now let's take the next number. Minus 5.555. Don't forget to make them into like decimals. So we put 0 there. Borrow 1. 8, 9. So I get 5, 4, 9.3, 9, 4. So my answer is 493.945. I hope you will have understood how to work out these sums. Please complete your exercise 4A as well as 4B, and I'll get back to you in the next class.